Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 co-op video. Today we'll be taking an in-depth look at the Terran enemy comp Shadow Tech. This comp is pretty strong because it starts off with Reapers, which will destroy structures very fast, and later on, starting from the third wave, they all hit really hard because Liberators deal so much damage to ground units. And later on, Cyclones will come and target your units, especially your heroes, dealing tons of damage. And then in the very late game, Battle Cruisers will come and Yamato all your stuff. So a lot of people don't like this comp. The strength of this comp is that Reapers just wreck a small number of structures. So if you only have 1 or 2 cannons trying to defend a wave of 6 Reapers, you might just lose them. Reapers can also climb cliffs, attacking you from angles that you might not expect. Liberators and BCs hit very hard, and Cyclones are very annoying to hero units. The weakness is that this comp actually has very weak anti-air in the early to mid game. Liberators can hit air, but they're not really good at it. They also don't have much AoE. The only unit that does AoE is Ravens and, Liberators versus air, but that's about it. So who likes fighting this comp? Well, tower commanders love it because Liberators don't attack buildings. Normally, each comp has at least 1 siege unit that can outrange your cannons and stuff, but this comp doesn't. Liberators will fly over your cannons trying to attack like the probe that's building it, and then they'll just get killed. Who hates fighting this comp? Well, Kerrigan doesn't like this because Liberators and Cyclones will focus down Kerrigan really fast if you don't have anything else helping her. And since Liberators and Cyclones come fairly early, well, Liberators at least, you might not have many other units to take hits for her. Overall, the top 3 guys, they don't care about comp, so yeah, they're just gonna one-hit things anyways. These guys really love Shadow Tech because they don't care. Towers right here, this guy, Lord of the Horde, and these guys love it when the enemies don't fight back because they're Terran. These guys kind of love Shadow Tech because they don't like fighting against AoE, and Shadow Tech doesn't have much AoE. These 3 kind of hate Shadow Tech. Well, Abathur because Shadow Tech doesn't give much biomass. Kerrigan because Cyclones and Liberators, as mentioned earlier. Artanis doesn't like Shadow Tech because Marauders deal a ton of damage to armored units, which means if you're using Dragoons, they're gonna get wrecked. And if you're fighting against Liberators with Dragoons, they will deal a ton of damage unless you shield overcharge. And sometimes you just can't shield overcharge every single wave, especially on maps like Missed Opportunities. On Rifts to Core Hall, Reapers arrive at 245 because they have quick movement speed, so be ready for that. Zerglings arrive at like 250, so Reapers are a little faster than that. On Vermilion Problem, the crystal enemies only go up to tier 4, which means that you don't have to worry about detectors defending the crystals. And of course, it's good to mention that on Oblivion Express, the first double trains will feature 2 T6 waves, and it's really early. So sometimes you may even have to let a train go because there are so many strong enemies so early in the game. Also, the second wave's Reapers, which is around 6 minutes, they will go up player 2's ramp. And if you're not ready, they're gonna harass your mineral line. For Void Launch and Part and Parcel, the first wave of Reapers might also jump up a cliff, so be ready to defend against those. Same with Mal Warfare. But also, it's important to mention that there are no tier 6 waves on this map, so you don't have to deal with BCs. Same with Missed Opportunities. BCs only show up on the last wave, so you don't have to really deal with them since you're gonna kind of ignore the last wave most of the time. Liberators are very annoying on this map because they, as well as Cyclones, will lock onto the harvesting bots, destroying it in seconds unless you intercept them first. Any mutator that buffs the enemies will be scary because this comp hits hard, and anything that allows them to hit hard will make them dangerous. Speedy Liberators, buffed Liberators, and BCs, they'll deal tons of damage. Cyclones that have a lot of speed or 2 lives, they'll just keep dealing so much damage to a single target. AD is also kind of scary because Reapers, if they're dropped behind your mineral line, they might jump up a cliff and harass your workers if you're not ready. Transmutation is scary because Liberators are tier 7 in the Transmutation tier list, but they come in tier 3 in the early game. So they might just turn into hybrids really early on. And that's it for this analysis. What do you think of this comp? Comment your experiences against Shadow Tech down below. Thanks to all the members who are supporting me. If you'd like to join the squad, check out the link in the description. And while you're here, why don't you check out the video on Classic Mech, another hated enemy Terran comp. See you there.